showed up on my door one day. I think I was, God man, must have been just turned 9 or 10 or something like that. I don't remember how old I was. It was a while ago. It was a long time ago. But my father showed up on my door one day, and I knock on the door kind of thing, and I opened the door, and I'd never met him before, right? I mean, he was there when I was a child, same as us. He was there up until like 2 years old type of thing, and then like, after that, it was, deep in my heart, I knew him, I recognized him, I knew it was him, almost like standing next to a heater, you know what I mean? You can feel the heat, you can feel that energy. It's like, here, standing, I opened the door, and that was my dad. Like, I knew that it was. And he says, "Hello, is your mother home?" I said, "Just shut the door." I didn't know what to do. I just shut the door. I said, "Mom, I think Dad's here." And then she says, "What?" And she runs around the house, and instead of like, I remember this so vividly, instead of like, getting all gussied up and saying like, oh, like someone that you haven't seen in forever, you know what I mean? Like, look, your mother is a very wonderful person, as a person, okay? But she grew up in a world of television and drugs and propaganda, you know what I mean? Like, your mother, God bless her, she was a hippie type. You know what a hippie is? Like the 1960s type of, she was not born in the 60s, but the 60s type, Jimi Hendrix and she used to love wearing overalls, Oshkosh Bagosh and all that kind of stuff. She's an awesome person to be with. She's just like an incredibly fun person to be with. Tomboy, if you will, and beautiful as Aphrodite. You know what I mean? I love her for making you. But I'm not in love with her. And Randy, if you're listening, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Scripture commands me to forgive you. So I forgive you. I don't blame you. I blame the devil. I blame Lucifer. I blame Beelzebub. I blame Satan. I don't blame you. But God damn you for what you did. Yes, I do still love you, and I do forgive you. But that was just wrong. So wrong. So wrong. But I'm a Viking, heir of Odin. A Valkyrie can never be killed. We live on in Valhalla. But the real victim is Mitri. Because everything you poisoned into his mind about me, he's gonna grow up thinking that he is as evil. Whether he says it to you or not, he's gonna be constantly mulling over, that's my dad? That's in my blood? I hear how evil you talk about him, Well, that's me too. This is what goes through a kid's mind. This is what happens. And what's the, what's the repercussion of that? I gotta keep my, I try to keep myself together here. What ends up happening is the child goes through a whole world of like self-loathing, right? Starts getting into trouble, whatever. Okay, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I hope you figured your shit out, but that's up to you. I got no say in it. But the child grows up in a constant. Am I evil too? Did I do something wrong? Does he hate me? This is what rolls through a child's mind when you make a foolish decision as you did. So, before you start thinking that I'm being insulting to you, let me step back a little bit and offer some levity to that conundrum. There was a point, back when I was at NASA, that I had proved myself. You know what I mean? Earn your stripes, show your show your medal, if you will. Okay, prove your integrity. And so I was pretty good on a computer, right? Learned a lot of things when I was there. And as you go through, you start being put on different projects. And so you do a simple project, right? Again, you got your CTS, so you're not allowed to say anything. And so they've pretty much they've looked at you and they go, okay. And then you're like, all right. They say, okay, well, you did good. Things are working out all right. Let's step them up a notch, because there's brass around you that's always watching everything. Okay, but when it comes to NASA, you got to remember, okay, just like right now. Sorry, dude, having a beard is always just a hassle. But like, this is a COVID beard, you know what I mean? Like, we've been on lockdown for a year, and so it's like until I can get some electric razors and clippers, goat shears, that kind of thing. If you ever tried to shave your head with a razor blade, you end up cutting yourself up. It's the same thing with a beard. And so I've got a beard from that damn COVID lockdown. But anyway, think of the internet. Everything you say is recorded and transcribed. There's vocal recognition, right? I'm trying to kind of give you an idea. Before Google existed, back when I was at NASA, we had landlines, physical landlines, you know what I mean? Like, now everything's voice over IP. And so there's no more FCC security. It's all, there's only two main data distributors. There's Google and then there's Apple. And so all communication is going through either one of two servers. And so if you have a conversation on a Google server with someone on an Apple server, that means both servers are going to have a recording of that conversation, because it's all VoIP. It's all data. It's just, it gets compressed into a little audio file that's super compressed, and it's stored in ad infinitum. You know what I mean? And so that's how it works now. Before that, all those calls are still screened. And when you come to places like NASA or NORAD or Sandia National or JPL, everything is monitored. Everything is. Step back for a second. I got to be real careful about what I say as I'm talking to you right now, because as I'm recording this again, I don't have an email. I haven't sent it out there, but once I do, so I'm trying to really be careful about how I say things, okay? But when, okay, we're gonna kind of come out here. Cannabis is legal nowadays, okay? Marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we can talk about that, and that's not going to be bad news. You know what I mean? So before prohibition was ended and marijuana, cannabis was still illegal, that you would get in trouble and arrested. Okay, like think of the old alcohol prohibition in the 1920s, before my time. But you know what I mean? Like there were mobsters and gangs, and just to get the alcohol, because people still wanted to smoke. Same thing for kind of for drugs, but I've never done the drugs. You know what I mean? Like, but your mother did the speed. I later had to learn. Like, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I had to Google it back like 5 years ago. Like, what the fuck was this all about? Apparently, it's the meth, the meth, the metamines, or the tweakster metamines, the meth. I keep hearing that's the word. Okay, like the tooth, and that's how I even came to look about it. Is because like the tweaksters are tweaksters, hipsters, tweakers. Tweaksters, hipsters, tweaks. Look, dude, I'm old, dude. I'm a Generation X. You give me the Clash, the Sex Pistols, the Ramones, Toots and the Maytals, Desmond Decker, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. By heart. You know what I mean? But, like, you give me the kids talk about shit now, I have no fucking clue what they're talking about half the time. I'm just like, okay, I'm listening. I'm trying to, like, having to, like, decode half the shit that they're talking about. Oh, sorry, I'm sitting on my junk. But that was kind of thing. And so, like, your mother and I on our first dates, when we would drive around, we shoot billiards. That's actually how we met. We were at the billiards, and I was on table 24, and she was on table 19. You know what I mean? And I remember that night. I was out with my buddy Capone. Yeah. Like, on the street they call me Bishop, on the street they call him Capone. But anyway, like, I was out with Capone, and we were out at the billiards, I think we were playing a game of 9, or something like that, and, yeah, I think we were cracking 9, but, like, your mother was on, like, the next table over, her sister, and, I think her stepbrother. It was, or no, I think it was, who was there? Derb. It was Derb. That's who was there. Oh. Kid, I'm telling you, if you've met these people, okay, wonderful people. Durbin, okay? Man, I'm telling you, born year to the day after Jimmy took off, okay? I tell you, reincarnate. Just, he was a Viking minstrel, you know what I mean? He was like a cross between Satriani and Vi, all put together. Good guy, great guy. He loved your sister, he loved, I guess that would be your auntie, but like, I try not to do names because I don't want to do names. Because if it does go to the interwebs, I don't want to get everyone bitching about shit. But like, I'm really trying to stay out of all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I think that's who was there, and we were on the table. We were playing, and we were playing 9, and I had just pulled off a fucking combination, and it's just, when it's creeping, it's just like, just rolling up on the felt, just about to hit that corner pocket, and you're just like, and then it rolls up, and then just because it's a public billiard, you know what I mean, and so that felt gets worn out just a little bit, and it was just rolling up just to the point where it's about to roll over, but the felt was so old that it kind of made like a little bump, like a speed bump at the end, and it went all the way to the end and stopped right on that last little bit of felt. And I was like, dude, go to your home. Don't you like your home? And I I think, oh fuck, it was a movie. Back when I actually watched movies and shit. But like,